Mr. Mamdani stood before a crowd. First, he compared AIPAC to monsters that move dark money. That's the language he used. Then he moved to talk about Gaza, thousands of civilians. He said Israel killed an Al Jazeera journalist, Ahmad Wisha. Mr. Mamdani, we have the evidence. This is Ahmad Wisha, the one that you condemned us for eliminating. A Hamas terrorist, a sniper in Hamas's military wing. We have the video. You can see him armed in the streets of Gaza. Journalist or a terrorist? You tell us.
When will the propaganda cease to exist? Continuously condemning Israel. Let's listen to Israel's ambassador, Mr. Danon, as he addresses the UN Security Council, once again addressing the lies, the fake news, the narrative that's being spread out there.
Israel is condemned again and again and again. Members from the Hamas-run Gaza Ministry of Health are quoted as fact. The numbers from their accusations against Israel are accepted first and examined later, if at all. I would like to thank Mr. Ramiz Al-Bagharov for his briefing, but just look at the other briefers invited here today. This time, the presidency made an extra effort. It found some of the most radical anti-Israel voices it could find. These are not neutral experts. Definitely not. Mr. Itai Epstein, if you look at the social media, even compared President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu to Hitler a few months ago. So those are the briefers you choose to bring and supposed to be objective, neutral briefers. That's unfortunate. Madam President, since October 7th, this Council has heard the same accusations against us again and again. Accusations, Israel, that we are intentionally kill civilians, that Israel intentionally targets doctors, aid workers, and journalists. Time and again, I have come here and said clearly, Israel does not target civilians. Israel does not target journalists. Israel targets terrorists. But many of you today chose to repeat the same accusations. That is the UN on anti-Israel autopilot. And how it works, a claim is made against Israel, the UN repeats it, and then the world condemns it. Then when the truth comes out, it takes time, sometimes weeks, months, years, no apology, no correction, no retraction. They move on. We will not move on. We will put the truth on the record. Those so-called journalists were their own fighters, terrorists. Just last week, here in New York, the same propaganda campaign was repeated here by New York City's mayor. Mr. Mamdani stood before a crowd. First, he compared AIPAC to monsters that move dark money. That's the language he used. Then he moved to talk about Gaza. He accused Israel of killing thousands of civilians. He said Israel killed an Al Jazeera journalist, Ahmad Wisha. Mr. Mamdani, we have the video. We have the evidence. This is Ahmad Wisha, the one that you condemned us for eliminating. A Hamas terrorist, a sniper in Hamas's military wing. We have the video. You can see him armed in the streets of Gaza. Journalist or a terrorist? You tell us. This is the machine. Hamas makes a claim. The NGO, ecosystem, rapporteurs, briefers, they all repeats the lies. And then a UN report rubber stamps it. The world media broadcasts it, and Israel is condemned before the facts are even checked. The obstacle to peace is not Israel. It is the radicals. It is Hamas. If you will not listen to Israel, then listen to the Gazans risking their lives to say it. On Friday, Palestinians in Gaza called for a day of rage against Hamas. But the protests could barely take off. Why? Because Hamas sent armed men into the streets, it threatened protesters as collaborators, and it warned them they could be executed. That is Hamas rule, and they are not only terrorizing Gazans. Hamas is directing terrorism across the region, also in Judea and Samaria. Days ago, we exposed a Hamas network in Turkey, planning attacks against Israelis in Judea and Samaria and other parts in Israel.
Thank you, Ambassador Danny Danon, once again, for standing up for what's right and for bringing to light to the world to hear clearly of what Israel's up against, but what America is up against, what the West is up against. From a Torah Jewish perspective, one needs to be able to look and understand of what has been happening. God created the world, and he chose Israel to be the homeland for the Jewish people. He told it to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The Israelites, the children of Jacob, were enslaved in Egypt for almost 200 years. Finally, Moses sends God sends Moses to Pharaoh to free the people and to bring them through the splitting of the sea to Mount Sinai, where God gives them the Ten Commandments, followed by the Torah, the Bible as we know it today. That was 3,338 years. God made a pact with the Jewish people, saying, hey, I took you guys out of Egypt, but I didn't take you out for nothing. I took you out because we're going to become partners. And God gave the Jewish people, the Israelites, a responsibility. It says, you are going to be the fewest of all the nations in the world, but I'm going to give you the set of rules, a set of morals and ethics that to make our journey in life more purposeful and meaningful. One needs to understand that prior to the giving of the Torah, the world was living chaotic. There's no law and order, there's no morals, there's no ethics, there's no family unit, there was no judicial system, there wasn't any right from wrong. People were living aimless, purposeless, without any understanding of what life is all about and how to respect each other. What is a family unit? What is a community? What does it means being culpable, responsible, accountable for your actions? The world was a chaos. It was very tribunal, and there was no real law and order. There was no judicial system. And this is what the Torah brought to the world. The Torah came to the world to bring law and order, to give purpose and meaning for humanity so that it can live in this world and make this world a spiritual dwelling place of godliness. God descended to Mount Sinai, which means he brought holiness to the world. Up until then, the world had zero holiness. There was no spirituality. There was all materialism and physicality. 3,338 years ago, which was exactly 2,448 years since creation, that God brought spirituality into the world. He introduced the concept that God and us can be combined to each other, that we can have a partnership. And that is the partnership that you and I have in this world. And this is perhaps why people are hating us till this day. People do not like people that are different. But how are we different? How are the Jewish people different? Perhaps our different is because we believe in one God. And perhaps we live Judaism not as a religion, but a way of life. Every Friday night at sunset, we turn everything off, we get unplugged, and we spend time with our family, with our loved ones. We invite guests over. We have the finest of foods. We dress in the finest of clothes, and we spend 24 hours connecting with each other as human beings, unplugged. Nothing to detract us, no bells, whistles, no sending, no beeps, nothing. That is an oasis, an island that God gave to the Jewish people to teach the rest of the world how to live. God also taught us how to eat, what foods we're allowed to eat, not allowed to eat. God also told us what constitutes a family unit. How do we get married? How do we get divorced? God also taught us how to respect each other's bodies and properties. That if we do damage someone's properties, we're culpable, we're accountable, we're responsible, we have to compensate. If we hurt someone, we are accountable. These are all basic morals, codes, and ethics that was a gift to the world, that the Jewish people gave to the world. Judaism is the mother of all religions. If Judaism would have been annihilated, there would be no Christianity, no Muslim, and other religions. And therefore, the anti-Semitism that's out there, as we can see the double standards, as Danon has been talking about what happens at the floor of the United Nations Security Council, the falsehoods, the fake news, the myths, the lies, just to serve them, needs to come to an end. God bless you. God loves you.